the couch. Normally, our
Guys,
response would be
we're
this
watching
is
how
Dusk
to
Broadcast, and today's advisory
watching
is
how to
admittedly not one we ever expected to issue.
how
For
to
months now,
pet
our
a
comment sections have
anomaly.
been
So
flooded with statements we
just like
originally assumed were jokes. People insisting they've made friends with their variants, that they're playing video games with a mimic, or that some anomaly
how do
followed
you
them
know
home and
it's a
now sleeps on the
mimic
couch.
or not?
Normally, our response would be the standard, please report this immediately, you are in danger, do not attempt to domesticate an unregulated entity. But the volume of these claims has gotten extreme, enough that the Office of Anomaly
How
Safety has
extreme?
decided, against our better judgment, to create what is now officially known as the Controlled Companion Program, a supervised path for civilians who insist on keeping anomalies as pets. So in this broadcast, we'll walk you through the
Okay.
anomalies you're allowed to keep, how to care for them, and how to avoid dying horribly in the process. Before we begin, understand the most important rule. Never
So this
adopt
is
an
technically
anomaly
a
that chooses you
50-50
first.
gamble
If something starts
of
following you home,
getting
tapping at your
extreme
window,
good
or
power
trying to
or
enter your house, that is
a extreme good power or get extreme power or just I'm trying to now I have to restart the video. And
Anyways, my bed.
Stop talking.
anyways,
Angela,
Okay. Millie, come here.
and this
Come
is
here.
technically a gamble. Are you gonna die or are you gonna get power? So just get.
not affection. That is a hunting pattern or a territorial claim. Natural anomaly human bonding only works when the OAS assigns a stabilized specimen to you, not when it drags itself into your life uninvited. Now, with that out of the way, here are the three types of anomalies legally permitted for civilian companionship. A, B, and C grade anomalies. Anything above C. With that out of the way, here are the three types of anomalies legally permitted for civilian companionship. A, B, and C grade anomalies.
Okay, first one looks like a deer but a human. Second one looks like a fly but a human, and the third one is a monster that hunts people and kills people, and it will eat its flesh. And I have a question: why does it only have one eye?
Anything above C grade is outright banned, and while a handful of anomalies are technically rated C grade but sentient enough to understand captivity, we have banned them for ethical reasons. You may not attempt to tame a borrower cat, a lurking corpse, or a site collector. Please do not try. So let's begin with the most common and arguably safest anomaly to keep as a pet. Underkin. If you've ever lived near a
Underkin. Very interesting. If
farm, you've probably heard
my uncle was work as a farm, and yeah, he's probably not.
of them, small, bipedal pack hunters that resemble an emaciated goblin with dragonfly like wings on its back. They aren't pretty, but they
If I see that in my phone, first thing I would do. Hit my rifle 16 and shoot it until it has no skin and no flesh anymore. And also until it dies.
bond extremely well when raised young. Farmers have used them for years as natural pest control. A trained underkin can clear a rodent infestation in a matter of hours. And while they might look intimidating or unpleasant, they're intensely loyal to whoever they imprint on. However, you must adopt underkin only through the official OAS centers. Hunters often steal newborn underkin from nests and sell them at outrageous prices. These illegally captured ones tend to be malnourished, erratic, and prone to attacking their owners when startled. And under no circumstances should you ever adopt an adult underkin. They cannot be domesticated. You might be able to tame them with fear, but they will try to hurt you the first chance they get. If rodents aren't your problem and you want something more decorative, you might be tempted by glimmers, the giant moth-like anomalies with wings that... Rodents aren't your problem and you want something more decorative, you might be tempted by glimmers, the giant moth-like anomalies with wings...
Like how big? Like how big?
White.
Like how big? How much feet?
Things that shimmer in dozens of shifting colors. Glimmers are among the gentlest anomalies known, strict vegetarians, easy to house, and surprisingly affectionate.
Thank God it's vegetarian. If it was like meat-catarian. Stop. I'm gonna delete one thing in your iPad.
Now.
Then stop it.
Okay. Delete nothing. Okay.
Okay.
I'll delete myself.
Oh, getting sleepy.
I deleted.
They also react to human emotion. When they detect sadness, stress, or fear, they release a fine, glitter-like mist that induces joy and calm. In other words, they are living antidepressants with wings. But glimmers come with two...
So this is like the cure of this depression?
So, this is my brother Adrian. Are you recording?
Strict warnings. First, never leave them alone with a mirror. Glimmers become unstable around reflective surfaces. In rare cases, they have been observed slipping into the mirror entirely, vanishing from our reality. Second, glimmers are easily startled, and their wings can rip if they panic indoors. Avoid making loud noises or keeping them separated from humans or fellow glimmers for extended periods of time. Keep them in a large, warm room with gentle airflow. If you prefer something practical, especially for safety, many civilians purchase pods of crimson flies. These small, bright red insects are rare, expensive, and illegal to obtain outside the companion program. A pod of 10 to 15 is needed for proper function. Their sole unique ability, detecting humanoid-type anomalies when near a mimic, vampire, or any other humanoid entity. Crimson flies begin buzzing so aggressively the entire pod vibrates. If released, they will chase the anomaly and attempt to feed on it. This is why OAS agents and independent anomaly hunters prize them. They can mean the difference between life and death when something wearing a human shape steps into your proximity. Their diet is simple.
You were on my computer? You pictured one of my videos? You pictured a short and now you're picturing me.
Spoonful of blood per day. Any animal blood works, though crimson flies clearly prefer blood from sentient beings. Do not test this preference, and do not starve them to increase detection range as amateur hunters do. Yes, starving them makes them hyper-attentive. It also kills them. A dead pod is useless for you and for the OAS. This starvation behavior and excessive demand in the black market might be the reason behind their dwindling population. Now, on to the anomalies the public keeps insisting they can tame, but absolutely should not.
With Robinhood Legend charts on mobile, I get an advanced charting and trading experience right on my phone.
Let's start with mimics. There is a widespread internet rumor that lesser mimics are basically weird dogs. This belief was perpetrated a few years ago by a well-known pop star on a live stream. He claimed that he kept a lesser mimic as a pet, and it was very chill. The pop star's brutally mauled body was found a few weeks later in his apartment in Zone 2. However, his talent management company claimed that it was an accident and completely unrelated to his beloved pet mimic. We are sure this doesn't have anything to do with the rumors of them being funded by a black market exotic pet supplier organization. This belief is responsible for at least 27 civilian deaths this year alone. Lesser mimics are violent, unpredictable, and incapable of forming stable bonds. The only exception is a mimic undergoing cognitive burnout, a condition where it loses the ability to shapeshift after overextending itself. In this state, it becomes docile, confused, and easy to command. OAS field teams and hunters sometimes get assigned cognitive burn mimics in high-stake hunts. This is due to the fact that they still possess the ability to mimic the sound of any living being in this state, which makes it very easy to lure other anomalies. There's a rather low chance that the mimic might begin recovering, and if they do, they must be surrendered immediately. No exceptions. Variants are another anomaly people insist they can befriend, especially after our variant overlap broadcast. While we understand the emotional temptation, this will always end in disaster. A variant is not you. A variant wants your life because only one version of the self can stabilize in this reality. If your variant isn't trying to merge with you, it's plotting to replace you quietly. The only scenario where a variant coexists peacefully is when it does not know you are the original. And even then, you are living beside the person most likely to eventually erase you from existence. And then, of course, the most unhinged request we've received, owning a lesser god as a pet. We shouldn't even have to say this, but no, you cannot tame a lesser god. Not with weapons, not with wishful thinking, not with the arsenal of a small country. Their existence predates ours by dimensions. They do not obey, they bargain. They don't get subdued by affection. They get subdued by elaborate binding ritual and contracts that bind them into your service. But that is a topic for another video. Do leave a comment if you'd like to see that. Realistically, if you want a friend, get a glimmer. If you want a god, rethink your priorities and consider therapy. If you truly wish to adopt an anomaly, please go through the Controlled Companion program. An undertrained, unregulated anomaly is not a...
If you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe and comment. And thanks for this broadcast for sponsoring this video. And goodbye.